Hey, thanks for watching. I want to tell you today about my favorite defoliant weed block, foliage stopper, get rid of things in the place you don't want ever. It's Agent Orange. The federal government came up with it. Super useful, very, very helpful in Vietnam. You can just go down to your local 70s era government surplus store and pick up some of that, and then you can come down here and... They did? Oh, well, in that case, you'll probably want to use something that's non-GMO, organic, and all that stuff, but actually still works. And I'll tell you how to get it free next. By now, you've probably figured out by looking behind me that the weed stop that we're talking about is mulch, wood chips, very, very small pieces of tree. These work really, really well for a bunch of reasons. They feed the soil, they keep the weeds from growing, they're natural, and they're free. So last year, this was our kitchen garden area, and what we discovered was we were really good at growing grass. Lots and lots of grass. And we had to stop that. So at the end of the season, we ended up finding the local power company here trimming around all of their power poles. And we flagged them down and asked them to drop some here for us, which they did. Roughly 5 or 6 truckloads worth. I'm not exactly sure. I lost count. So we let it sit out there and rot down a little bit, but for the most part, it's still very much intact mulch. So last year at the end of the season, we made some in between the rows that we grow on, and it worked really, really well. That's now rotted down and is added to our soil, which is great. Now perhaps you're saying to yourself, well, I don't live out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't have a place for somebody to drop 5 truckloads worth of mulch. And the power company never comes through here. And it's expensive, and I can't do it. And it's really hard for me. Well, when we lived in the city, we actually used to chase down tree companies that would come into our neighborhood. And we had 1.5 cubic yards dumped from one truck. So if you live in the city, you can actually contact some of those tree companies and find out what they do with their mulch. Some of them package it up and resell it. But some, if they're in your neighborhood, you can save them a trip to the dump, and they will be happy to drop it for you. So this area is no longer our vegetable garden. It is going to be our garden. What's that you say? Our garden? That's right. I can't tell you what it is yet. This is a secret. It's coming up in the future. But hopefully it'll help us fix some of the farm finances. Help us make a little money around the property. So you'll have to stay tuned for that video. As I want to do, I forgot 3 very, very important things. One of the benefits of this is next year we are going to flip-flop where the rows are compared to where we plant. And then we are fertilizing essentially next year's crop row. 2, as wood breaks down, it's a nitrogen stealer, so you don't want to plant directly in the mulch. And you also might want to plant a nitrogen fixing cover crop over winter in the areas where the mulch is now to help rectify some of that. And 3rd, my name is Brian, and I appreciate you spending some time with us. But as much as I'd love to talk to you more about it, we're going to put more and more rows in so that we can start preparing the soil in between and get to planting our campus. Thanks for joining us here today on Flower Farms. The one part I know how to say, I don't say. Thank you for joining us here today on Flannel Farms. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep growing as you grow. And we'll see you next time. No government agencies included. Bye.